everyone, it's Athena Ali here. I keep hearing that you have to know someone to land the job, that all roles in some departments are predetermined and that there's no point in applying. And I call BS on that. Let's talk about today how you can be that person and what traits these leaders have that you don't have and why you're not the person landing the job. Now, you might think you're the perfect candidate, but you need to work on some of these things that I'm going to talk about today before you can land one of those predetermined roles, as you say. So thank you for joining me live today to hear what I have to say about this and how you can land any job you want when you want, as I have and my clients have. Okay, so just to introduce myself, I'm Athena Ali, the Get Noticed coach. I'm a career coach and marketer for public servants seeking a six-figure public sector promotion, and I'm also a career transition coach for public servants who want to or have to leave the sector for various reasons. So welcome to my live broadcast today on how to be the person who gets tapped on the shoulder or invited to apply for a senior public sector role. Now, before I start today, I'd like to do an acknowledgement to country. So in the spirit of reconciliation, I acknowledge our traditional custodians of country throughout Australia. And I pay respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people today. Now, if you're here live, say hi in the comments below. If you're watching the replay, add hashtag replay in the comments. You can also view this on my YouTube channel if for some reason you lose the connection here on LinkedIn. Okay, so welcome. As I said, I keep hearing that you have to know someone to land the job or that the recruitment process is very nepotistic. I even had somebody say that it was corrupt today. So, and basically that, you know, all recruitment decisions are predetermined and that there's no point in applying. And I want to start by saying that leaders, really good leaders, make choices, and you too have choices. Okay, now that first choice is that you can submit to all those bad feelings that you feel about the sector and about the recruitment process, and you can stay there. That's a choice. Okay, there's nothing wrong with, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with feeling all the feels, and if you're angry about it, or if you're sad, or if you're frustrated or confused or despondent, or you're actually too tired to think about it, it's okay. And it's good to acknowledge that that's how you feel. And there's nothing wrong with feeling what you feel, and you shouldn't ignore those feelings particularly. However, if you stay in those feelings for too long, or you don't move from those feelings, you will just stay where you are and nothing will ever change. Okay? Alternatively, you could do two other things instead, or many other things. You can do what these thriving leaders who get tapped on the shoulder do, okay? And that is adopt a growth mindset and aspire to and visualize yourself as the leader that affects a change in this nepotistic recruitment process that you think is happening, and change that attitude that you have in your department. The one thing that these leaders have that you might not have is that they're extremely self-aware. And they actually acknowledge that even though that they have a lot of things in their suite of experience and knowledge, they acknowledge that they actually can do better, and there's always room for improvement. They know they're not perfect, and they're always looking for ways to learn and to change. Okay, when I say adopt a growth mindset, think about asking yourself questions like, what feedback can I actually take from this? What is this teaching me? Or what more can I do to be in the position that, you know, lands me a job or gets people inviting me to apply, just like all these other people, I think, you know, in this nepotistic environment. You know, the feedback actually is that you're not doing what those others are doing to land the job and be in the position to be the chosen one, okay? Now, you can wallow in that and continue to bring negativity to yourself, your team and your department, and ultimately the public, or you can start looking at ways on how you can change this for yourself. There will always be a reason why you're not landing that role. And it's not just because you're not best friends with the hiring manager. That might be one of the reasons, you know. Have you thought about how to become visible so that hiring manager actually sees you? If no one is noticing you, then you still have some work to do, even though you think that you don't. Clearly, there is a gap between you and your current situation where you want to go, okay? So it's your responsibility to find out what that gap is and fill it in order to land the next job. That gap might actually be to have a relationship with a hiring manager. Maybe you need to learn how to negotiate better and find some common ground with that person if you feel like you're always butting heads with them, or perhaps they're not choosing you because they don't like you. Maybe you do need to work on your communication skills. How do you get them to listen to your ideas so that they think they're brilliant enough for them to want you in that leadership role? Or how do you work with people who are different to yourself? Are you acknowledging that there are people around you that are not like you? And that's okay, but they're the things you might need to learn in order to progress to get into that role. That gap that you're seeking to fill might be that it's a qualification. The gap might be that you need to get the company director's course certification. That gap might also be that you need more longer term experience in acting roles instead of a few weeks at a time for years on end. Maybe you do need to go on a secondment and actually get an opportunity to work with people in a leadership role from start to finish, rather than, filling in every time your boss goes on leave, which isn't enough to showcase a leadership, role quality. It might be that you need to get on boards or volunteer some of your time in community of practice focus type groups, that are relevant to where you want to go. Or that gap might be your executive presence itself. Maybe you need help with styling or something like that. You clearly don't have everything down pat if you are not landing these roles, and you need to acknowledge that after you've acknowledged the fact that you're annoyed about it. So, it might be that you need a high performance career or executive coach. People who are landing these roles, they know they'll get there faster with a coach. And in fact, they understand what a coach is and they seek them out. They know they need a sounding board that isn't their partner, their mum or their dad or their other work colleagues. And that looking outside of their usual circle will yield greater results. These people are high performance people. They seek out opportunities to learn and grow. They also don't wait for someone else to pay for that investment. They believe in themselves enough to pay for their own professional development. Whilst getting professional development from a government department is brilliant, and if you can do that, fantastic. What you need to understand is that when you pay for it yourself, you're more invested in the outcome and you're going to get better results because you chose to do this, not somebody else. The people that are getting tapped on the shoulder for these roles, they're lifelong learners and they don't stop their professional development even when they get to CEO levels. They understand that they control their destiny and don't allow others to control where and when they get a promotion or new role in another department. These leaders who are getting tapped on the shoulder also outgrow their current surroundings because they're growing and learning all the time. And they also start to feel the fear of breaking through to the next level, but do it anyway, okay? These thriving leaders lead themselves first, otherwise they're really leading no one, okay? Now, my clients also understand that results may not be immediate and that working on their profile may take some time. They're realistic about what they can achieve in certain periods of time. Now, I've seen my clients completely transform their visual branding, change their LinkedIn profile photographs to show a different, a more executive presence, or be really targeted about what information they share and with whom. And they start to understand who they really want to be as a leader, and then they know how to market that once they leave coaching with me. And then they literally will get tapped on the shoulder to apply for the roles that they seek because they invested in whatever it took to get there, and they're willing to spend the time to do it as well. Now, they also know they need more than a resume to land that job, okay? Now, if you need the confidence to land the next job you apply for and be that person that they tap on the shoulder and invite to apply for roles, and you want to learn how to start building your public profile and learn how to elevate it and subsequently elevating your career before you write your documents so that you can confidently sell yourself to an organisation, then get in touch with me as I run 4, 8 or 12-week programs that help you to elevate your profile quickly so that hiring managers and recruiters get excited about inviting you for an interview and subsequently you landing the job. Okay, simply get in touch with me via DM. You can book a chat with the QR code up the top, or you can get in touch with me at the getnoticecoach.com/get-in-touch, okay? Or as I said, DM me on socials as well. I'm more than happy to take your inquiry. So I hope that's been helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.